Welcome. It's Alex Mondosian, and today's masterclass is all about cultivating, just like a farmer, cultivating more client referrals via relationship capital. Now, the first question you should be asking yourself if you're at all interested in this topic is, okay, what is relationship capital? Okay, what's the definition of relationship capital? Well, it's one of those things where you're sacrificing short-term profit in exchange for long-term wealth. Relationship capital is all about you. It's not about your product. It's not about your service. It's not about the sphere of influence that you're engaged in. It's all about you. Are you a trusted advisor that people refer to? I know I am. It's taken me over 27 years to get there. But if you have relationship capital, it makes generating profits faster, better, and easier. Now, question, and here it is. Why is relationship capital so important? Do you see it there? Now, I'm not usually in my normal office where I broadcast. I'm in Gold Coast, Australia. I'm at my partner's home, and it echoes here, which is okay. The background is different. It's a little bit more feminine than I'm used to, but what does it matter? She has, her name is Sandra Bravo, she has relationship capital with her tribe. And why is relationship capital so important is because unless you do something critically stupid, you don't lose it. Relationship capital is cascading north, right? It keeps building again and again and again. And the reason why it's so important is because it collapses the sales cycle from the moment that you have your first touch where, let's say you have a block of ice, which is a candidate, prospect, a lead, whatever you call it, to a steaming hot client where you've changed the consistency from ice to water, super cold to warm to hot, and then ultimately steam, which you can propel a rocket, a steamship, a locomotive, right? It's an evolution. That's what relationship capital is. And the question, after you know what it is and why it's important, how is relationship capital created? Well, I'm going to tell you. It takes time. There's a sense of marketing intimacy. There's a sense of, like intimacy in a personal relationship. It's no different in marketing or in sales or in any kind of business exchange. There's a level of intimacy where, let's say, an email is lower intimacy than, I believe, direct mail. Because with direct mail, with like posting mail, if you're overseas, posting means, mailing through the post office. If I'm sending you direct mail, it's more intimate because I'm spending money versus sending you email for free. And I believe even at a higher level of intimacy, if you have text broadcasting, which I'm going to give you access to my text broadcasting application, which my good friend Randy Garn and his investment partners have developed. I believe text broadcasting is the new email marketing. Why? Because I believe with text broadcasting or mobile marketing, 1,000 leads is the same as having 10,000 leads with email. Now, some of my colleagues believe it's worth 100,000 leads with email. So it's 100 times quotient. I believe it's 10 times. So if you're starting from scratch, you're in the right place. If you have a service or business that you don't have a single email subscriber, no problem. I would recommend that you start with text broadcasting or mobile marketing. And I'm going to give you access to the ethical bribe, we call it. So you get to experience what that's like. So today is all about relationship capital, and the higher the level of intimacy, the higher level of potential profit. So let's begin with the first promise. 5 tested ways to ethically influence more referrals. All right. So what's a referral? A referral is when someone is giving you a candidate and they're referring it to you so that you can leapfrog the evolution of ice, cold water, warm water, hot water, and then ultimately steam where you want to be. So the first way to make things work for you is to have an avatar outline document. Now, what does that mean? That means know who your ideal client is. If you're into podcasting, know who your ideal listener is. Now, I have a coach who is a podcasting coach. He's brilliant. His name is Jeff Brown. And I'm launching my podcast in the year 2018. I have no idea when you're watching this, but during the week of my birthday, which is the week of March 9th, my podcast will launch. And I know who my ideal listener is. And her name is Coach Carla. If you want to see what it looks like, go to marketingonline.com/Carla. Now, 66% of my lists, between 64 and 66%, let's say around 65% of my lists, are women. How do I know? Because they've told me. And Coach Carla is a coach. She makes less than $100,000 a year. How do I know? She told me. She has children. How do I know? She told me. She has competing intentions. How do I know? She told me. She has competing intentions between her business, where she's the CEO, and her family, where she's the CEO. Now, here's what's interesting about Carla, and I don't know if you're Carla or not. She's in her late 40s, according to her, and she has 2 children. However, she says that sometimes she feels like she has 3 children. Who's the 3rd child? Not a child she adopted, but it's either her former husband, her ex-husband, or her current husband. Now, I don't know how that feels for the husband, but that's what she says. She hates to sell. She doesn't like to do technical stuff, and she is not into all the marketing babble that is kind of like marketing porn for me, like clean marketing porn, where I just love the marketing part because I've been doing it for over 30 years. So that's Coach Carla. Now, if you go to marketingonline.com/Carla, you will see her affiliations. What are the groups she's affiliated with? You will see her aspirations. What are her personal aspirations? And you will see all the other parts of her that make her tick. Now, if you want to look at the male version, which is about 45% of my list, then that's marketingonline.com/Carl. Now, Carl's in his late 30s. He's younger. He's also married. He's a sole provider. He makes less than $100,000 a year still. But, he has a little different temperament, different aspirations, affiliations, right? And attributes, that's the 3rd A, the attributes. He has a few different attributes that Carla has. So you can go check out marketingonline.com/Carl. That's what I teach my $30,000 clients. You can learn that by ethically poaching it. Now, the second tactic or secret is to serve first and request second. What does that mean? That means to give first, to volunteer first, and then to request something second. It's not about receiving second, because you don't know if you'll receive or not. You're requesting it secondly, right? Now, the key is not to keep score, because when you keep score, then it's all about contingency, reciprocity, and you'll have a nervous breakdown, believe me. You'll go into adrenal fatigue. I'm not projecting that upon you. That's what I've experienced in the past, 30 years in business. Don't keep score. The karma always, what goes around comes around, if you've heard that. So serve first and then request second. Ask for something that you want secondly. That's another tactic. Okay, belong to at least one mastermind. Now, I belong to 3 masterminds, and it cost me nearly $100,000 a year. Now, you may not have that budget to spend $100,000 a year for masterminds, but here's what I do know. with those mastermind groups, those people support me for my joint venture launches. Those people instruct me and counsel me. Those people show love for me. And marketing love means teaching me things that I normally would not know. I'll give you an example. I have a very, very good friend, and I'm so grateful for his friendship. He gives me a lot more credit than I deserve. He calls me the godfather of internet marketing. And because I came up with the Ask campaign back in 2002, he has what's called the Ask method. He's much smarter than I am. He makes a lot more much more money than I do, I think. And he has a lot more marketing reach and visibility and exposure than I do. His name is Ryan Levesque out of Austin. Dear friend of mine, he's had over $3 million launches in a time when people are doing less than $500,000 in launches. And what he did is, I recently approached him. I said, I don't want you to support my upcoming launch because I know it's not ideal for you. I know it's not the right thing. And Ryan, I'm not doing a takeaway. I'm not trying to ensnare you or to seduce you to say yes. I'm saying it's not right for you. I'd rather get recommendations and case studies for the work I've done for you, which is attracting high-end clients after your launch, right? So instead of selling $2,000 product, I've shown them how to do $35,000 product and $10,000 product. And he gave me one piece of advice that was golden. And it was all about how to present my conversion secrets launch on how to attract and convert more premium or high-end clients. And a premium client is 10 times what you would normally spend or what a client would spend on you. Now, the reason I'm mentioning this is because that exchange was maybe less than 45 seconds. But what I gained is going to last me a lifetime because the insight he gave me, in fact, he even apologized. He said, Alex, I'm sorry to give you more work. I said, dude, are you kidding me? That was golden. I contacted my online business manager. I contacted my ad manager. I contacted my general manager. I said, oh my gosh, whatever manager you are, how simple is this? It's not simplicity on the near side of complexity. It's simplicity on the other side of complexity, which one of the Chief Justices of the United States, Oliver Wendell Holmes, said, I wouldn't give a fig, which is a fruit, right, for simplicity on the near side of complexity, but I'd give my life for simplicity on the far side of complexity, which I believe is wisdom. Simplicity on the near side is knowledge. And everything that you do in between, like a bell curve, is called experience, right? So what I learned in 45 seconds was more valuable to me than what I was planning for the previous 2 years. So that's how powerful relationship capital can be. I can't even tell you how important it is. Next, number 4 is create a referral application or an intake. Now, what is that? Well, the easiest way I can show you what that is to simply go to, I'm going to give you the, if I can find it. Well, I can't find it right now. Oh well, but you'll see it at the end of this presentation. If you give an application or an intake, so you're pre-qualifying people when they're coming in. I mean, that is not admissible. I got to show you. I got to show you what this is. I showed it to you once. I don't know where the heck it went. Let's see. There we go. This is called transparency. All right. All right. So here we go. Whatever. If you go to marketingonline.com/GBO funnel, you will see the application for Guerrilla Business Online, which is what GBO stands for. Now, I've generated over $10 million for Guerrilla Business Online over the past 12 years. And that's going on stage, teaching it, enrolling people, having people run to the back of the room. And for the first time ever, I'm offering mentoring and the course if you haven't taken it. Now, if you've taken Guerrilla Business Online, then what are you waiting for? Take the mentoring and go there and fill in the application. If you haven't taken it, then you get access to both. But if you have an intake or if you have a way to create an application where you're pre-qualifying 80% of the time and you're promoting 20% of the time, then you're not going to be rejected. And then the fifth secret tactic strategy is pre-qualification high-end funnel, which is my Guerrilla Business Online funnel. Now, I typically charge $25,000 to teach people who are, I think, a lot smarter than I am, have a lot more exposure than I do, feed the beast, which means get more leads. Ryan Levesque, Lisa Sasevich, Davin Michaels, Bill Barron, Ted McGrath. I can go on and on. Justin Livingston, Callan Rush. I teach them the process of creating a high-end funnel. Now, if you want to see what a pre-qualification high-end funnel looks like, then you simply go to marketingonline.com/GBO funnel. Or what I prefer, because it's a lot more intimate, is text the letters GBO without the quotations, just GBO, to 415-980-3555. This was the card I was looking for. So I'm a little bit embarrassed, but so be it. Text GBO to 415-980-3555. My good friend Randy Garn at Scipio and the good people at Scipio, we use that application. I believe mobile marketing is worth 10 times what email marketing is, because like 98% of the people open up the emails, and the majority of people actually click the links in the emails. Are you with me? Let's go with 3 costly mistakes you must avoid. First of all, are you glad you made it here? Are you going to share this masterclass with others? It doesn't matter if you do or you don't, but are you glad you're watching? You're still here, right? So you need to make a change if you're still here. Here are 3 costly mistakes. Mistake number 1, make your requests, to build relationship capital, right? Make requests without the relationship capital in mind. So when you're making a request, you're not certain that you're going to get back the relationship capital you deserve, meaning you're not going to get the value that you're giving the person that you've served. Remember, I said serve first, request second. So make the request without expecting relationship capital. Mistake number 2 is the topic of your first meeting is all about you. That's a mistake. That should be an unhappy face. I mean, people get on a video or a call and they just talk about me. I love myself. Okay, do unto others as they want to be done unto. My good friend Tony Alessandra teaches that. That's called the platinum rule. Now, the golden rule, I think originally developed by, Jesus, Moses, Buddha, I have no idea. But wherever the golden rule came from, the golden rule is not dead, but an extension of it is the platinum rule. Do unto others as they want to be done unto. So if you ask me, based on my experiences, the topic of your first meeting is all about you is a mistake. Make it all about them. Be interested in them. Okay, don't try to be interesting to them. And then here's the third mistake, being unclear about what you offer. You need to be concrete. You need to be crystal clear. My offer is always this. Someone who does, for my high-end clients, someone who does more than $1 million a year, someone who has launches every year, and someone who wants me to teach them how to have a post-launch upsell strategy so they can generate 300 to 500% more profit from the sales of their post-launch upsell strategy. On the front end, if they did $1 million in their launch, let's say as a PLF launch strategy, which is the work of the sideways sales letter that Jeff Walker created, I would say back to 2010, right? The product launch formula. So you have pre-launch content, or PLC1, PLC2, PLC3, and then about 2 weeks later, you have the video sales letter to enroll them. Let's say you make $1 million. Now, if you have a JV launch, then you're going to spend probably somewhere between 80 to 85% on the cost of sales. Your net profit is about $150,000. Why? After rescission, people not paying, payment plans, after refund requests, after affiliate commissions, affiliate contests, and miscellaneous, whatever. Out of $1 million, you're going to make $150,000. Now, you could make $200,000, but 20% commissions is, I believe, not enough. What about the post-launch upsell strategy? You can generate 80% commissions, 4 times more, without a single penny spent on acquisition of a prospect, because all those prospects are there. That's what I teach. And that's what I've taught some of the thought leaders I've already mentioned and name dropped. Now, marketing intimacy. It's all about the stages of marketing. Now, I didn't learn this from Russell Brunson, but Russell Brunson talks about this in his 2 books. Now, he doesn't talk about it this way. He talks about 3 different levels. He talks about cold leads, he talks about warm leads, and hot leads. I believe there are other bookends to that. There's first ice, which is solid, right, below 32 Fahrenheit. Then there's ice cold water, just like, let's say, the Titanic, you know, when it hit that iceberg, the water was ice cold, and that's why people, had their lives put to an end because the water was so cold, their heart stopped. And then there's warm water, which is maybe 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Hot water, which is 105 degrees Fahrenheit, and then steam, which can drive a locomotive or a steamship. I think there are 5 stages of growth for any kind of prospect. Now, here's the key point. Each stage is a higher level of marketing intimacy. Why? Trust. When people trust you, it means you have more relationship capital, and you can leapfrog from, let's say, ice to a hot prospect. I've gotten $100,000 clients from a single referral, and in 2 meetings, I've gotten $100,000 from them. How? Because my the person who referred that candidate to me, passed the rapport torch or the trust torch, like, let's say, like the Olympics, to me. And I got to save a lot of time and compressed and collapse the sales cycle. Now, here's the key point. Relationship capital allows you to skip 1 to 3 stages, which means less time. So you can leapfrog from cold to warm or cold to hot. Very rarely do you go from cold to steam, but it's happened to me. And it's made over $100,000 for one specific client. And you may be watching right now, you know who you are. So that's the power of relationship capital. If you don't keep score, and if you sacrifice short-term profit in exchange for long-term wealth, it's like you're going to heaven with the inconvenience, without the inconvenience of dying. Now, what about the 4 tested ways to become the referred trusted advisor? It's not enough to be a trusted advisor. How do you become the referred trusted advisor? How do you get people to refer you so they look good when they refer you? Okay, first of all, be a connector. Refer them. If you believe in them, connect with them. The best connector on planet Earth, whom I know, is my good friend and partner, Joe Polish. He was a former partner. He's going to be a future partner in the upcoming years. And we put together a course called Stick Strategy Secrets. Now, Joe is a connector who doesn't keep score. He connects people, and he does what I like to call trialoguing. Now, you know what dialogue is. You know what monologue is. Monologue is when I'm speaking at you. Dialogue is when I'm speaking with you and we're engaging. Trialogue is where, let's say I meet someone and I meet someone else and they're an ideal connection, and I play the C position and I'm the trialoguer. Now, I'm not looking for any kind of reciprocity. And it's ironic and it's counterintuitive. But people ask me, well, Alex, if you're always in the C position, in the trialoguer position, how do you make money? Or what's the benefit? I say, well, you know what the benefit is? World peace, the end of world hunger, and literacy for all. That's what happens when you don't keep score, which brings me to the second principle, which is don't keep score. My good friend Harvey McKay, who's built over a $600 million company year after year, the McKay Envelope Company, which he, I think, joint ventured with a gentleman with the surname Mitchell. And we had the McKay Roundtable, which I helped deliberate and create. And it was a $75,000 a year mastermind. We did it for 2 years. We have reunions constantly. And one of the principles that I believe I had the most influence on was don't keep score. Now, Harvey knew this, but he didn't articulate it that way. He's a 6 or 7 time New York Times and Wall Street Journal bestseller with all of his books. The Swim with the Sharks Without Being Eaten Alive was his first, bestseller. Don't keep score. It'll drive you nuts. It'll give you anxiety. It'll cause stress. It'll create adrenal fatigue like it has for me. I've been very peevish and childlike when I'm keeping score. Don't keep score. Just do it without condition. It'll be a lot easier on your heart. Now, here's the key point. High intention, low attachment. That is your mindset. High intention, low attachment. Who taught me that? My good friend, my mentor, and also my student in digital marketing, T. Harv Eker. I trained his son, Jesse Eker, about like 6 years ago. He reached out. He said, what do you think, what should I focus on? I said, Facebook ads. That's where you should focus on, man. You're a millennial. You should focus on Facebook ads. And now he runs all of his dad's JVs. He worked for me for 3 years, and his dad stole him from me, which he made a great decision. That's Jesse and T. Harv Eker. High intention, low attachment. And I had low attachment with his son. And I consider both of them friends for life. I will consider them a friend as long as I'm breathing. Next, done for you. I call it DFY, okay? Done for you value at no cost. What does that mean? Okay, so I have a system on how to attract and convert high-end clients. It's a 7-step process using an online funnel. I have it on ClickFunnels. I have it in Infusionsoft. I have it in a PDF format so that whatever app they're using, they being my the receiver of the information, they're going to benefit from it. And so I just teach them the process. Now, I used to not do this as much, and then I got together with Jason Fladian, who is a webinar marketing genius. He's in Genius Network with me. That was put together by Joe Polish. And he said, Alex, the way I get JVs is just, I do favors. And he didn't say it this way, but he doesn't keep score. So he's younger than me. He has one more child than I do. I stopped at man on man. I have 2 kids, Gabriel and Brianna. He has 3 children. And, he taught me something very valuable. It's like serve first, request second. And so now I'm teaching people my process. And now all out of the woodworks, people are coming and saying, Alex, can I hire you for this process? I go, where'd you hear from? How did you hear about me? And then they tell me people who I've assisted. Now, will it always happen? No. But will it happen with absolute certainty? Yes. How do you get started? By planting karmic seeds so that they can bloom. Here's an example. Okay, teaching JVs, my most profitable secret. If you have a secret that's profitable, for me, it's the post-launch upsell strategy. It's the 7-step funnel that I have taught. And I made a former partner and I lots and lots of money. I made him more money than I made for myself. I've made my colleagues and my friends lots and lots of money. It's only failed once in the time that I've ever tested it. It has gotten me out of holes where launches have failed for me. That's my most valuable secret, and I teach it to others for free. And then they end up either hiring me or referring me to others. And then the fourth strategy or secret is keep your expert status on one topic, not many. So back in 2002 and 2003, excuse me, I got the hiccups here. I don't know what's up with that, but it is what it is. We'll see how long it lasts. I was the Ask Campaign guy. People like Frank Kern and others who are a lot smarter than I am. They utilized my technology, they utilized my methodology, and they would ask people, what's the single most important question you have about? And then they filled in the topic. Okay, so I was the Ask guy. Then after that, I became the teleseminar guy. For 5 years, I made over $14 million with teleseminarsecrets.com. Then I became the Hangout marketing guy in a term between 2012 and 2014. Actually, prior to that, I was the ultimate internet boot camp guy. I would teach people in 5 days how to monetize a website starting from scratch. My partner was T. Harv Eker. And today, I am the high-end funnel marketing guy. So if you go to Google and you type in King of Funnel Marketing or Funnel Marketing King, I'll pop up. Now, I have good friends named Ryan Dice, who, again, has a lot more exposure than me. Ryan Levesque, a lot of Ryans are smart, actually. Joe Sugarman, Joe Polish, many, many others. And at this time, when you look up Funnel Marketing King or King of Funnel Marketing, I pop up. Why? Because I've made it that way. It's just kind of fun having gloating rights and bragging rights to be able to do that. But I am pretty good at attracting and converting high-end clients, not for salespeople, but for coaches. I hire for attitude and train for skill. The biggest mistake I ever made was hiring salespeople, which is hiring for skill, and training them for attitude, training them the attitude of coaching. And then I had a good friend of mine, Dave Buck, who runs Coachville, and Luke Iorio, who runs IPEC, and they taught me hire for attitude and train for skill. Hire coaches, attitude, and train selling. And my methodology makes that really simple. So what I want you to do is to be super clear on, I am the blank guy, or the feminine, I'm the blank gal. And whatever blank is, that is your expertise. So today, I am the premium client funnel marketing guy. Now, your next step is to text GBO. These are the letters. Just type in GBO to this number, 415-980-3555. It's good in most sovereign nations throughout the world. GBO to 415-980-3555. If that doesn't work, then okay, fine. Go to marketingonline.com/GBO funnel. We have set it up so that you can get access to our high-end funnel and you can experience it. Don't fill in the intake unless you are serious in becoming a Guerrilla Business Online student or candidate so that you can one day coach for my organization. We are growing at a meteoric rate, and I hope that now you understand how to cultivate relationship capital. Relationship capital is about trust, and it's all about not keeping score. I'm Alex Mondosian, and I hope our paths cross again soon.